Hey guys, so I really wanted to do a review for you guys of this Haute Jersey Leopard Couture palette by NYX. And I hope I'm saying that correctly and not totally embarrassing myself. But anyway, this palette has been out for a little while and it's still $25 on NYX's website, but it's on sale on Amazon.com, which I will link below. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But first, I want to tell you about the palette. So if you're not really interested in the palette and you want me to tell you about the shopping tips, then I'll put a little annotation right here in the video so that you can skip forward to just hear about the shopping tips and not have to hear me blab on about this palette. Oh, and by the way, my nails are super crazy because I did just film an Essie haul and swatches, which I will link down in the info bar if you guys missed that video and you want to see it. So now onto the palette. This palette, I guess, was inspired by the whole Jersey Shore thing because it is covered with gold leopard print and it does have 3 bronzers, so I think it was sort of inspired by the whole Jersey thing. But I do actually think that this is a pretty practical palette. You may think that if it's like a Jersey Shore palette that it may be too wild or too crazy, but from what I've tried from it, it actually is pretty practical. It does have, on this side of the palette, it has a bunch of eyeshadows, and as you can see, it comes with these little eyeshadow brushes, which I don't really use. I'd rather use a regular eyeshadow brush, but these are actually nice. I think that these are actually nice to apply your highlight color, just because that way you're not like getting one of your regular brushes dirty or whatever. You can just kind of use one of these little sponge applicators to just put a little bit of highlight on your inner corner and then be off. So these colors are, the top ones have a lot of purple in them. And then down here there are basically some sort of like gray colors, a few black sort of sparkly colors, and then over here there's like a pink and a blue. So in the palette, these colors look pretty dark and pretty intense, like you would use this for like a going out kind of palette. But I actually found that since they aren't super pigmented, like they're, you know, they're somewhat pigmented, but I guess I would compare them to sort of like a Coastal Scents or a or like Sedona Lace. It's like they do have some nice color to them, but they aren't crazy dark. You know, it's not like Urban Decay eyeshadows where, you know, you just tap a little bit on and it's like super pigmented, which obviously it's really nice to have really dark pigmented shadows, but sometimes for just like everyday looks, I actually prefer these less pigmented shadows because you don't have to worry about getting too crazy and suddenly winding up looking like you got punched in the face just because you applied a little bit too much of a super pigmented eyeshadow. So let me just quickly swatch some of these on my hand to give you guys an idea of how pigmented they are. Okay, so here's my hand with a bunch of swatches on it, and as you can see, a couple of the black colors are fairly pigmented, but the other ones all have pretty much of a soft color to them. Like some of those purples you can see that look so dark in the palette are actually fairly light. They're not like super, super intense, so you can wear these on sort of like an everyday basis and not feel like you're getting too crazy. Oh, and actually I have to show you guys this. The mirror says, "Who's the prettiest diva in the world?" on this side, and then on this side of the palette it says "You are." So, okay, one thing I actually do really love about this palette is that the lip glosses are actually just in little regular lip gloss containers, and it's actually really nice that these are small lip glosses because if you have just like a really tiny clutch for going out or something like that, it's nice to have everything be super, super tiny, like miniature Alice in Wonderland size, because then you can just stick, you know, lots of different makeup products in your bag, like little samples or whatever, and then not have a crazy amount of products with you. Also, one thing that's really annoying about some palettes is that they'll actually have the lipsticks or the lip gloss in a tray like this. And then what happens is all the powders end up stuck into the lipstick or the lip gloss, and it's just really gross. So I'm glad that this palette has the lip glosses in their own little closed containers, and that everything that's out in the open like this is all powders. Like this is the side with the eyeshadows, and then over here you've got 2 blushes, and then you've got bronzers, and then this is like, I guess, this is sort of like a shimmery highlight color, this one that has like the crazy animal print on it. And then these 2 bottom bronzers are pretty dark. Like if you have sort of more of a medium or darker skin tone, then these 2 bottom bronzers might work well for you, or you may want to use these for like contouring or something, but I think that this top bronzer works well for me, so this one works better if you have a lighter skin tone. It won't look too crazy. I mean, if you do want to actually look like you're Snooki, then definitely put this one on to your light skin tone and you will totally look like Snooki. Here are the 3 bronzers on my fingers. This one right here. Oh gosh, why can't I move this finger without my other finger moving? I look like a crazy person. But okay, this one right here is the lighter bronzer I was telling you guys about, and then these 2 over here are the 2 darker bronzers. So you can see on my finger these 2 are pretty dark. Oh my gosh, I have like swatches all over my hands. I'm just gonna like rub these in and I will look totally normal. Okay, so I would definitely recommend this palette, especially since it is on sale for only $15, including shipping and handling on Amazon right now, which is $10 less than on the NYX website. And I definitely think that it has so much stuff in here that if you're trying to, you know, get a little makeup kit or a little makeup collection on a low budget, then you could just pick up this palette and you'll have some eyeshadows to play around with, as well as some blushes and some lip glosses and a highlight shade, and probably at least one bronzer shade that will work for you will be in here. And it's kind of convenient that it also has this mirror, so that if you bring this with you traveling, you'll have like everything right in here. And this also could be a cute palette for if you have a younger girl in your life, like a younger sister, or say like a niece or a daughter or something who really wants to get into makeup, but you're like, okay, I'm not going to get you the Naked 2 palette because you're like 10 years old, but she wants to be able to like play with makeup in her room or like use it for dress up or whatever, then you could also go with this palette for something like that. That would probably be a nice gift for someone as sort of like a little intro to makeup. And my quick shopping tips are, I don't know if everyone knows about this, but Amazon.com actually has a lot of beauty products, including this palette, but they also have a lot of other stuff too. And sometimes their beauty products are cheaper than what you'll find elsewhere. Like this NYX palette was definitely more expensive on the NYX website than it was on Amazon.com. So I would definitely always recommend to check Amazon and see if you can find a better price there before you check other websites. And my other tip is that Ebates.com, which you guys may already be familiar with, is actually offering a 4% cash back on all of Amazon's beauty products. So not only are you getting a discount because it's on Amazon, but then you can also get cash back by just like clicking on Amazon or the Amazon beauty section through Ebates.com. So that's pretty awesome. So if you're already signed up for Ebates, don't forget to do that. And if you haven't signed up for Ebates yet, I'll put the link down below. But I'm thinking a lot of you guys may have already signed up for Ebates because it's kind of been like a huge thing lately on YouTube. So yeah, definitely Ebates and Amazon are both things that you have to check before buying anything that's beauty related. Oh my gosh, you guys, check out the back of the palette. It says, "Get BSL on." Bronzer, smoky eye, and lip gloss. So yes, this is clearly very Jersey Shore inspired, but don't worry, you don't necessarily have to look like Snooki when you use this palette. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you will subscribe for more videos if you haven't yet. Bye!